Hello everyone and welcome to Pablo Escobar's video series. This is going to be vlog entry number 14 and recapping my first week in season 27, first 3v3 Grand Arena since the update and the changes with crystal payouts, etc. So let's hop right into it. So in the last season I got demoted down to Rhodium 2, and maybe this was for the best. I've actually been able to be matched up against people that I might have a better chance against. So in the first round I came up against a player named Marathon. Managed to score 1,117 banners and held up against 512. I got stonewalled by his Phasma first order team. I think it was more so that I just ran out of teams, and maybe in hindsight I could have used some of my teams more efficiently to prevent that. As it stands, I've pretty much got exactly the right number of teams I need to be able to counter the 13 teams that are the 13 or so teams that are set on defense. So if I make a misplay, then that pretty much costs me the rest of the game. I don't have any defensive champions. This guy seemed to have also run out of gas and wasn't able to clear out many more of my teams. The second round for the week, I came up against Capped Charisma 3. This was basically a player who was a no-show, and I scored a low 351 banners, also from a bit of inefficient plays. Made a bit of mistakes with the team compositions, etc. Notable one being Gas, where I paired him up with a Soka Tano, the Padawan Tano, and Commander Tano. Definitely not a great idea, but I was stonewalled by his Emperor Palpatine team as well as a Jedi Master Luke team. Hopefully once we get C, we'll have a better ace in the hole to be able to hold up against those kinds of defensive stalwarts. The third round for the week, I played against what's this guy's name? Bounty Runner, and put up a score of 1,075 against 1,122. So fortunately I lost, but definitely a much better play on my part. So I tried to be as clean as efficient as I could, but ran out of steam once I got to his Darth Revan, and he just pretty much ate up most of my remaining teams. My defensive champion for this round, though, surprisingly, was Iden Verso, who was able to hold up a surprising 6 defensive holds. That's a team of Iden Verso, Gear 12 Stormtrooper, as well as Magma Trooper. So maybe it's a Gear 12 Stormtrooper. It's like a thick stone wall that's virtually impossible to break through. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that and see if she comes out as defensive champion and pulls ahead with this. So I was thinking of just keep a separate stats for 3v3 and for 5v5. We'll look at that at the end. So going on to the account update, starting with the C progression. There's a little bit of progress here in getting Tarkin across the board, but also slowly pushing together the rest of the teams and trying to tie them together to make a bit more of a cohesive kind of team. So as you can see here, still languishing behind with Dark Trooper, and I'm still struggling quite a bit with being able to get injector items, etc., to be able to push more people into relic tiers. But at the same time, I also need to use that energy for farming other heroes to make the future exploits a little bit more efficient. I think once these energy farms are completed, then maybe I can look at spending more energy onto just farming injector items with the refreshes and saving the rest as it comes up during the day for the premium gear nodes that I'm trying to farm. When looking at the Empire team, that Mara Jade is pretty much staying about the same. The Short Trooper might put a gear piece on here and there just to try and get him a little bit more tanky, because he does kind of get knocked out very quickly, and then the whole team kind of just derails after that. But in the second group, I've been able to get Tarkin across to Relic 3. I've also trying to invest a bit of gear in Watt where I can and try to slowly work on the TIE pilot in the background, since he's going to be needed for the next project of the Executor. The remaining people on this team, I think I just threw one Kabanti on Death Trooper since no one else really needed it anytime soon. But I think I'm just going to leave him hanging around there for now until I can try and figure out a plan what I'm going to do with everyone else. But I think Watt and Armor are definitely going to get preference for gear after the relicking requirements are completed, since they'll need to be up and running before anyone else to be able to make my Sith Eternal Emperor more efficient and more effective, rather, in terms of his damage output. So slow progression here. We've just got those 3 Gear 12 tunes, the Marauder, Krennic, and the Royal Guard, who I need to upgrade. But that doesn't seem too much of an insurmountable task. Looking at the account update from an overview and a big picture kind of view. With the account for this past week, I've been able to invest a bit more GP improvements by gearing up a lot more characters and being able to add on another 50k to the account. Currently I don't have anyone at a relic farm or gear 13 to progress to relics. My gear 13 pushes at the moment is Krennic, who's gear 12 plus 2, Volgar at gear 12 plus 3, and Marauder gear 12 plus 4, almost on the cusp of the 5th piece being completed. So I'm probably going to try and focus more on getting up to relic 7, and then I'll try picking up the pieces here and there to finish off Krennic and the Royal Guard. My gear 12 target for now is going to be Roktembor, who is currently at gear 10 with 5 pieces, and I think it's 1 Kabanti and a stun gun shot of going across to gear 11, and then he'll probably hang on gear 11 for a while until I can get him to 7 stars. But since he's going to be needed for Jedi Master Kenobi, I can invest a couple relics. Not relic 7, but maybe just up to relic 5, just to keep him a little bit more tanky and get some use out of him. Energy farms are slowly Armorer, Hunter, Resistance Herald Fin, IG-2000 and the TIE Bomber, and I've currently saved up 79 out of the 120 that Zetas I need for C, and we're currently sitting on 28 out of the 20 Omicrons we are needing for Dark Malgus. There was a period where I was considering whether to excuse me, add on the Omicron to the TIE Fighter pilot for Special Forces. Oh, sorry, not the Special Forces, the First Order TIE pilot, but I'm less inclined to do that. It feels a little bit gimmicky, and I think I'd rather focus on getting Malgus since I do need to get my Darth Revan team up and running next anyway. In terms of my shopping plan that I'm working on, there's been some improvements here as well, where I've been able to get some progress on the Malevolence at 53 out of 85 shots, and I'm basically spending my shot currency in gear 13 360 custom pieces. Since this is a bit of a midweek update, I don't have too much to report on mods, still farming defense mods for the rest of this week, and then we'll move on and change, and that'll probably come for the next Grand Arena update, or the next vlog update, which will be after the next Grand Arena. But that's it for this update. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any comments, feedback or suggestions, please feel free to comment, like the video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well if you're interested, and don't also forget to check out the Twitch stream as well. Hopefully you're able to start getting a little bit more highlights. 3v3 is not really my favorite format. I prefer the 5v5 format, but let's see what we can do and what we can learn from this season. So thanks again, and take care. See you in the next video.